Hello, RC car fans. I haven't bought an RC car in a while. For some reason, I prefer static models these days. I've been doing RC cars for decades, so I don't know, kind of gets dull. But I do like the concept of these really miniature ones, and so I do have a review on the first Turbo Racing 176 scale car, just a little rear-wheel drive. And I always thought back then it would be cool if they made a drift vehicle, and what do you know? They now have a drift vehicle. So I bought this off AliExpress. Let's just take a look at this thing. It's got a 55 milliamp LiPo battery, professional grade steering, so it should be fully proportional. Counterweight ratio, interesting. SVC gyro. I know what a gyro does, not sure what SVC. It's got some lights. It's got the controller, different bodies, I guess. Oh, here we go. Power switch, Type-C charger. Okay, 4 AAA batteries. I gotta track some of those down. And I should have the blue Skyline in here. Maybe this is, well, it looks like an R34 Skyline to me. Okay, brand new. Seal, break the tape seal here. Jeez, that's some serious tape. Don't know where my cutter went all of a sudden, so I'm just gonna use this here. Okay. Not sure why that box doesn't want to open. Oh, there's tape on the side as well. It's kind of way silly. Only on one side though. It's weird. Oh, no, it was on both sides. So we have an instruction manual. Who has time to read that? It's not that hard, but we're gonna just wing it. This is in Chinese as well. And that, yeah, some QR codes to the other styles of vehicles they have. I know they have a monster truck too, but it's really just rear-wheel drive. So, tissue paper. Oh, cool. They have extra bodies here, so if you want to paint your own, I think that's nice. Oh wow, there's like actual body kits, like the wing. What else is there? Air dam, and then the little transparent pieces for the LEDs to come through. So very thoughtful. And then obviously there's 2 of them because there's 2 extra bodies. So, wow, it's unexpected. But who has time to paint stuff? So this body's already done. It's got a nice metallic. We'll get back to that. Let's get this box out of the way. It's very distracting. So we have the 2-piece controller. And then we have this charge cable, and that's it, and really high quality foam to protect it from chipping damage. Okay, so the charger's nice because you can pack it away in a bag, you know. If it was one piece, that's a lot more cumbersome, right? So, yeah, let's see. There's a coin slot here, it says open this way. Oh, well that's new. I don't recall that from the other one I have. Alright. So that slides together nicely, and there's a little quick release. You push this down and it comes apart. So they're the contacts. Alright, so that's good. Let me go get some batteries. Okay, got 4 fresh AAA alkalines here. So it tells you which way to put the batteries in, but basically it's usually the spring goes to the negative side. All right. Okay. Simple enough. Slide that up in here. Maybe it should be put in before you slide it together. No, never mind. So now to lock it, you gotta do that twist lock. So I'm gonna push it up, and counterclockwise locks it, clockwise opens it. Here must be the charging thing. Okay, so moving that switch on the bottom raises the C port charger. So you can charge the car right off of this. Like this. Does a light come on? I don't see any. Oh, there we go. Alright, there is a red light in there. See? Okay. You can't really see it through the windshield, though. It's pretty black. It's blacked out. Well, it makes sense. It's a little opaque. But you can see it, you know, through the wheel well. So the instructions sadly said it takes 40 minutes for it to charge. So this might have to come back, obviously. But in the meantime, I can at least finish off what other things we have. So naturally, if you want to preserve your AAA batteries, you just plug this into your computer or power bank or a wall outlet adapter. It's just your standard USB side. So that's nice to have because my phone uses this as well. Going to this thing here. Controls, yeah, pretty standard. You can set the steering trim and the throttle trim, so that'll be very convenient. Okay. Maybe we could even do it right now. So, I'm also noticing here there's a 20, 50, 100% throttle limit, reverse steering or normal steering, steering trim, steering DR. I'm not sure what that means. 0 to 10. Throttle DR. Drive response, maybe? The instructions, what does it say here? Steering trim. The other ones it doesn't even talk about. Maybe on this side? It's funny. The instructions only talk about steering trim. The other ones, I guess, just mess around with it and you'll figure it out. So standard trigger, accelerate, brake, or reverse. Yeah. Steering channel 3 and 4. I think those turn on the lights. Charge LED. Oh, there is. The LED's off, but let me put it. Okay, so it is charging with that light on, but to preserve battery life, I'll probably just leave it off. As long as you see the light on the vehicle, right? Okay. You might wonder what this is. It's a body clip for like a 110 scale RC, but it's the binding plug. There's a contact in the bottom, and you need this to bridge that gap to bind it. But I'm curious if it'll even start up without binding at all. So let me clear out this area. We'll undo this now. Sorry, I'm always losing focus. Okay. Yeah, but here, there's the binding port right there. And then on-off switch. So I'm going to turn this controller on. I suppose this actually might be the on-off button as well. The on-off switch, it has to be. Okay, now I'll turn this on. I think it's already bound. Yeah, so you don't even need the binding thing. And so that's actually why the instructions don't even talk about binding. Okay, well that saves me a lot. So the gyro is clearly working. It's trying to counter steer as a thing swinging around like a proper drift car should in the RC realm, that is. You'll also note that this thing has brass wheels, so very low traction, which is what you want on a drift car. You want it to slide out as much as possible. So it's only rear wheel drive, which is fine. Screwed together a little bit. You got all these blue LEDs. Then you got the tail lights lit up. Let's see if I do the accelerator. So if you hit the brake, let me get that into frame a little bit. Right? The brake lights actually do turn on. So that's cool. What happens if we do it on the front? Accelerate, brake, nothing, which makes sense. Now the steering, if I turn left, or turn right. That was right. Now left. No sort of no turn signals. No, which is fine. Although I wouldn't be surprised if in the future the thing actually will blink some lights as if it's a turn signal. Okay, let me turn this off for a second because I want to go over the details of this thing. Alright, so it's a nice metallic finish. It's got 5-spoke V's or Y's, or no, these are 6 spokes, my bad. And it's an inset into the brass. I guess it's kind of effective. There's a nice turn signal, no, I'm sorry, not turn signal, just a running light over here, and that's painted. The door handle detail is pretty nice, you know, dimensionality. This thing's got a wide body kit on it because you can see the little dots for the body screws. And then we have a nice horizontal ribbing here, maybe for this. Maybe that's supposed to be an intercooler indication. Some sort of diagonal ribbing here, and in the grill as well. The lights, obviously, you saw are on. They look great when they're on, but they're even nice when they're off. They look like there's 2 light bulbs back there. This side here, not much difference. The windows are obviously blacked out. They're just paint. The hood is painted nicely. And then the wing is a separate piece, and it's matching the same color. The third brake light is painted red, so that's cool. There's a Turbo Racing license plate. That's nice. And then obviously you saw the lights lit up, but even when they're off, they look nice. There's a lot of molded detail to them. And then there's a blanked off exhaust tip here and a diffuser. It's just black plastic, but there actually is air passing between that diffuser, so that's a really nice detail. I gotta say, I mean, this is a nicer model than a lot of 1/64 scale die-cast vehicles. And the only thing that gives it away is the fact that it has brass wheels. But like, if this just had normal wheels, this would be a nice display piece. Granted, there's no interior, but it's cool. It's really nicely done. Very impressive. I'm not gonna really go into taking it apart. I don't really care. There's some other videos I think out there doing that. Beaver's RC. He's a great channel. I really like watching his stuff. Oh, there's a suspension here. A little micro suspension. Oh, I don't know if the front has it or not. It doesn't seem as prominent. No, I think it does. You can see the kingpin moving up and down there. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if this is suspension or a wobbly. I don't know. It might just be wobbly. I turned off the lights to show what those other switches on the side show. So this is the way it came out of the box, you know, with the underglow kit and the headlights. They look pretty, I don't know if the phone's going to focus on those headlights, but they look really cool to the naked eye. It looks like there's like 3 lights inside of it. Taillights, obviously. Well, again, it's hard. No, my phone's not that good. Well, alright, you get taillights. Let's see about the headlights. Can it see it? No. Alright, well, the switches here, and we'll just use this. So this one here says channel 3. So channel 3 turns off the underglow. Okay. Now the one closer to the steering wheel is a slide switch, and that says channel 4. I can slide it to the left and it'll turn the lights off entirely. So hitting both switches is just totally dark. Right? So channel 3, underglow, channel 4, slide to the middle, solid lights, slide all the way to the right, flashing lights. So I'm hitting the focus, but my phone cannot figure that out. So yeah. Alright, well anyways, it's a little crazy, a little zany with the flashing lights. Yeah, it's like a police light. Pretty cool, you know, for something so small to have these little options on it. Okay guys, we're going to try some surfaces. This is a glass table, obviously. You can see right through it. I was messing around with the controls and I figured out what they are. So the first one, this THDR, is the strength of the throttle. If it's totally zeroed out, the car is not going to move at all. right? Obviously, if you go halfway, it's going to move slowly. The problem with moving slowly is there isn't enough throttle to start a drift. So, but now if I go all the way up here, then it's too much throttle. Watch. Hold on, I hit the focus. Right? It just kicks out too much, and it's all impossible to catch. So, what I like to do is back it off to this notch here. So counterclockwise, or actually clockwise, makes it lower speed. So that's where the arrow is pointing to, over here. So now I can actually initiate a drift with the throttle. See? And then I can catch it with the counter steer. Okay, so that's what that first one does. Now this one here, what's this labeled? Come on, focus. Steering. So that's just a steering response. Obviously, if it's totally backed off at the 0, it's not going to steer at all. See? Nothing. You want it to be fast as possible so you can catch a drift. Right? So this is the fastest steering setting. So you want to leave that at the number 10. Steering trim is left and right, right? And it drives perfectly straight as it is, where the arrows meet. And then this one right here is the gyro response. If you have the gyro set to 0, watch, it's going to be a total disaster because it's not going to catch itself. So good, right? You can't do anything because there's no gyro. So if you max it out, the gyro is full effect, and so that's what lets me catch. It'll do a lot of the work for me, right? So if you're a skilled drifter, you could back up the gyro, but for me, what I like is leaving the gyro full on, and then the throttle like 1 notch back. So again, 1 notch back. This is 10, so 1 notch that way. Full speed 10, full gyro 10, steering trim centered. So that's what's going on a glass tabletop. So here we have a hardwood floor surface. But now the throttle is not, you know, I don't have enough to start a drift. It's just like a regular grip racer. So I'm going to have to increase the throttle response here. No, that was too much. Let me try it all the way. I'm not sure if I'm feeling this. The undulations in the wood are making it like, that's going straight, but the gyro is making it go crazy. So let me reduce the gyro effect and see what happens. Nope, still it's like fishtailing. I'm not steering right now. Hold on, let me do it faster. See, it's fishtailing, but I'm not touching the steering. I'm going to reduce the gyro even more. Oh, but now it spins out. So, an uneven surface in drifting at this scale, not effective, right? Because the gyro is picking up all those tiny undulations in the wood and affecting it. So, okay, so here's a stone tabletop. So it's not it's pretty smooth. Probably not as smooth as that glass, maybe, but definitely smoother than that wooden floor. So I think the gyro has to be full effect. Yeah. Too much steering throttle, I think. I think I need to have an objective. Try to drift around this guy. Still spinning out too much, so too much throttle. I find this harder than the glass. Maybe this is actually smoother than glass. Might depend on how many scratches there are. Tough call. I think an issue is the vehicle isn't very heavy, so it doesn't, the drift, I'm trying to catch a drift, but man, it just kind of spins out instead. I don't know. Might have to go back to that glass table. So here we have some big ceramic floor tiles, but they definitely have a texture to them, and I think the grout lines are going to destroy this ride. But let's try it out, full throttle. Yeah, see, well, too much throttle, hold on. Yeah, it's not easy. Every time it hits a grout line, it gets disrupted. So this is a no-go. So here we have some giant smooth tiles. Let's see how this works out. The grout lines again. Too much throttle. Not enough throttle. It's not bad if you don't hit the grout lines. Yeah. Okay, well, the smooth surface is nice, but the grout lines are not as effective, so. Alright, so here we have like a Formica, one of those laminate, like plastic top tables. It's got some scratches in it. Oh, this is very slick. Slicker than that glass. Yeah, this is too much, so I'm going to try this out. You know, there's that slide switch. So right now it says 100%. I'm going to switch that to... First let's switch it to 20, see what happens. Wow, this thing is so slow. Way too slow. That's like a slow grip racer. Okay. Let's move to 50%. Alright, this has potential. Alright, I think I actually have too much throttle on the dial, so I'm going to back this off. Let's go halfway point, see what that does. Wow, this thing is really slick, this table. Oh, but look, check it out, drifting. Oh. Oh, here we go. Maybe they're actually too far apart. I do believe I'm drifting. Maybe a little too much still. Anyways, I think we had some drifting there. So this is a pretty good table, but you gotta have really back up the throttle. Right now I'm at the 50% switch, and then the throttle's almost to 0. So here we have another table covered in glass. I'm gonna just do some circles, and unfortunately the steering, the radius is pretty high. Like, it's a big turning circle, and this table is not big enough. But I did catch a little drift there. You know, it seems to have a tighter turning circle going right, doing a right turn like here, than the left. Yeah, for some reason, I can have a easier time. Oh, there it was. Turning to the left, no, I'm sorry, turning to the right is a lot easier for me than going the other way. Turning left like now, I don't know, I have a hard time. The radius is bigger. Actually, maybe it's just, I'm just like feathering the throttle. Let's try the opposite direction. Yeah, it's a lot easier going right turns for some reason. Yeah, it's probably just me psychologically. I have a problem with it, but there we go. It's definitely drifting. So after about 5 minutes, I think I'm at least able to show you this thing can drift. There we go. That's full throttle. Oh, yep. Alright, well, I gotta say, I think with some practice, you can actually have some tabletop drifting. Well, as you can see, it's really depends on the surface you're running. I found that the Formica or plastic laminate countertop and glass are my preferred things because they're smoother, and so it's just a matter of adjusting the throttle and stuff like that. Just for comparison's sake, if you know absolutely nothing about scale, here's a 1/64 scale Camaro. This is by Auto World. It's alright, it's pretty good. But yeah, 176 doesn't sound like a big difference from 64, but it's a huge difference in actual reality. So don't ask, will a Hot Wheels body fit on this? Because Hot Wheels are very often even bigger than 164. So yeah, once again, I do feel like the body on this is fantastic. I mean, it's got tons of details, right? So that's why I often get angry at 1/64 scale companies when a plastic toy like this, granted it costs more, but the thing's remote controlled, right? And look at all the material here, right? So the value of things and static models in 1/64, they're simply not a good value. Nevertheless, this is a fantastic RC car, you know. I think it's, excuse me, as long as you have a smooth surface, this is worth buying, I think. It's just got to dial in the throttle. That's the key part, and that's it. So thank you for watching today, guys, and I'll see you hopefully in the next RC video.